Mr. Speaker, today is an exciting day for this Congress and for our country, because today we will vote on long overdue legislation for American families.
That was 1993, and the House was about to vote on the Family Medical Leave Act, which gave 12 weeks of unpaid leave to qualifying workers.
That was created to protect families, and actually, if you really think about it, it's protecting not just the families, but it's also protecting the businesses. It's expensive to hire a person, train them in, and then have them leave because of some family emergency. And then you have to replace that person.
That was a good start in family leave. Now, 22 years later, we need to give America's workers another benefit.
But being there when they're so little is very important in those first months.
The U.S. currently has no federal paid leave. The only other developed nation that doesn't have federal paid leave is Papua New Guinea.
And I think it's really embarrassing to hear that. I didn't realize that was the only other country. And the United States wants to be and promotes itself as a leader in so many areas, and that we are so behind in this area and have put such a little value on what parents need and what families need is really sad. So I definitely hope that's an area that gets more attention.
America sells itself as a leading country, yet we don't have what every other leading country has, paid family leave.
We should be disappointed, yeah. We should be embarrassed by that. We compare ourselves to all of these other countries across the world in everything else, in business, in education, in the way, infant mortality, in everything across the board. But when it comes to consumer protection, when it comes to protecting the little guy, when it comes to family leave and education, then we don't necessarily want to be compared to anybody. So yeah, we should be embarrassed and disappointed by that.
Currently, 3 states have paid family leave: California, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. California's is funded through a small payroll tax under their state disability fund.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, if they're talking about an actual tax and not something that's masked and being called a tax, then yeah, I think both of those sides are always scared of that. But, politics is full of misinformation, so it's hard to tell whether there's actually a concern there or not. But yeah, I mean, politicians and citizens alike, run from new taxes like the plague.
Many people want paid family leave regulated across businesses, but some don't want it regulated by the government at all.
I don't think so. Not that I'm not against it, but I have a difficult time with any federal mandates. I am an entrepreneur and free enterprise, and I feel that businesses should have the right to be able to determine where they put their dollars for the fringe benefits they offer their employees.
In August, Netflix announced 1 year of paid leave for parents. Microsoft announced 20 weeks for moms, and Adobe also announced 26 for moms. In August, within a week, 3 leading tech companies had implemented new paid leave policies.
I think it's mainly because the benefits that you offer to your employees are the thing that makes you different from that of your potential competition.
Every parent needs a different amount of time off from work, but there's a common amount that everyone agrees on.
I can definitely see it being a hardship for business owners to have an employee that would be out for 12 weeks. And so, I mean, I'm just speaking from the experience of the 6 weeks that I was out with our other 2 kids. And I would say 6 to 8 weeks would be the minimum, and then companies could definitely move to that 12-week, which, I mean, it would have been great to be home for 12 weeks. But some parents are ready to come back after 8 weeks, but to have that option to have 12 weeks would be great.
I would love to see at least 6 weeks. I know there are a lot of countries that do months of paid leave, and that I think is really a huge benefit, but to start with, I think 6 weeks would be great.
And I think it needs to be, just fair. Like, why would a natural birth constitute 6 weeks and an adoptive would only be 3 weeks, like in our district? I understand they're taking into account the mother healing from the process, but it's more about the mother and child bonding in that adoptive process, and so that would be so important.
The paid leave would most likely be funded under a small payroll tax under the state disability fund, which could possibly raise taxes.
I think it takes a bold politician to be able to say this is worth raising taxes, and I believe in this even if it does mean, talking about increasing taxes, which we don't want to do.
In a 2014 White House report titled The Economics of Paid and Unpaid Leave, it reported that only 50% of people that make less than $28,000 a year have access to paid leave. These are the people that need it most.
I think a lot of the pressure that why employees don't take the time that they really should in order to make either their new or current families important is because of the financial burden that puts on your family.
If you leave your newborn at a daycare, the parent can't stop thinking about it and their work suffers.
Yeah, in a company where a mom could maybe adjust her hours and, if the baby's sleeping at night and do that, that would definitely be a different story. But in education, we have bells that tell us when we need to be here.
With this strategy, you can still do part of your work.
Some economies in some states, a lot of people can do those jobs, and then other ones that are really specialized, it takes training and education and experience to come in and be able to do it.
Democrats mostly support paid leave, and Republicans mostly oppose it. This isn't about parties, though. This is about families.
That's where building coalitions and building relationships with people across the aisle is incredibly important. And being able to have those conversations and knowing that you've built that relationship so that you can talk to them in a trustworthy, friendly way.
We need to come together as a nation, because we are one big family.